Good morning, children. Today I am going to teach you a history lesson, that is lesson number 1, Introduction to History. This lesson has been divided into several parts, that is, what is history, why we want history, sources of history, India as introduced by Europeans, and new words. Children, now I want to ask you a question. Can anyone tell me what is history? Okay, yes, it is the study of the past. Now let me tell you in the first concept the meaning of history. It is a systematic presentation of past events. It introduces the journey of human beings, that is, from ancient to the present. It tells the failures and success of humans in that journey. Historical incidents, the accuracy of time, place, and person is maintained, like when the incident took place, where it took place, and by whom. So, without these clarities, history becomes a story. Now, let me tell you the difference between history and story. Can you see the two examples? Yes, in the first one, that is story, once upon a time there was a king in a place, he fought a war. But in the second example, that is history, Ashoka, who ruled Pataliputra in 261 BC, fought the Kalinga War. So, children, can you see the difference between a story and history? In the story, you don't have the name of a person, the name of place, and also the time. Whereas in history, we show and we talk about the person who has fought the war, in which place he has fought, and which war it was, and the time also is shown. Here you can see the difference between the story and what is history. Now I am going to tell you, children, why we want history. As memory, recollection, and retention, memory serves human to survive. So does history serves as a memory for a society, state, nation, and the whole world. Yes, history is a record of good and wrong decisions, joyful and sorrowful experiences, and difficulties faced by the ancestors. It warns about the future decision making process. The principles, values, and ideologies of our ancestors in the history will be a model and guiding force for their descendants. Valor, adventures, patriotism, and sacrifice will inspire the next generation. By introducing our culture and heritage, history arouses the feeling of pride and honor for our nation and the world at large. Father of history, Herodotus of Greece was the first to show the world how to construct this immensely valuable history. Hence, he is considered as the father of history. The next concept is sources of history. History is divided into literary source and archaeological source. Now let us try to know literary source. Historically speaking, literature means the written or orally conveyed information. There are two kinds in this. One is written literature and the other is oral literature. Written literature can be further classified into native and foreign literature. Oral literature comprises of folk, songs, stories, ballads, myths, and legends. Written literature is constructed by literates, whereas the oral literature is created by illiterates. Now let us go to archaeological sources. Archaeological sources are the physical remains or the ruins of the things used or the constructed structures in the past are called as archaeological sources. The remains that have been buried in the earth and removed from excavation. The historical evidences include coins, inscriptions, monuments, pieces of pots, and other artifacts. Now we'll go to the next concept, that is India as introduced by Europeans. Indians had the knowledge of history in the form of Puranas and myths from ancient times. But this was different from the European model of constructing history. Among the Europeans who arrived in India in the 16th century were Jesuit priests. They undertook a systematic study to understand the lifestyle of Indians. Erich Roth, who was settled in Agra, translated Sanskrit grammar into Latin language about 350 years ago. A century later, Father Ciodox identified that there are many similarities between Sanskrit and European languages. Meanwhile, the British got the revenue rights in Bengal. The British officers tried to understand the history, traditions, customs, values, beliefs, and laws of Indians to strengthen their trade relationship. Some administrators were attracted toward the Indian literature and culture. As a result, Manusmriti, Bhagavad Gita, and other great literary works were translated into English. Now let us study about the European scholars. The first one is William Jones. Sir William Jones contributed immensely to the study of Indiology. Here, Indiology means the branch of knowledge which studies the culture and history of India. He came to India as a judge of the Supreme Court in Bengal and established the Asiatic Society in the year 1784 CE at Calcutta. Present it is Kolkata. Sir William Jones, who was a multilingual expert, translated the great works like Gita Govinda, Manava Dharmashastra, and the Kalidasa's Shakuntala from Sanskrit to English. The next one is Max Muller, another prominent Orientalist and an Indiologist was Max Muller. He was a German scholar who wrote an English work, that is Sacred Book of the East, in 50 volumes. The next one is James Mill, a historian from Scotland, wrote History of India in 6 volumes. The next scholar is Abbe Dubus. Abbe Dubus was a French missionary arrived and settled at Ganjam near Srirangapatna. He lived as a sage by adopting the local culture and customs. He was called Doddaswami by the local people. He wrote Hindu manners, customs, and ceremonies. He has presented Indian customs, values, thoughts, festivals, and Varna Sharma system in his work. Abhi Dubus lived here for 24 years and returned to France. Apart from these, Elphinstone, Collis, Brooke, Cunningham, Eliot, and Dawson have introduced the different stages of Indian history. Francis Buchanan, Colonel Wilkes, Mackenzie, B.L. Rice, Fleet, and other European scholars have successfully recorded and preserved inscriptions, manuscripts, chronicles, testimonies, and contemporary events for the reconstruction of Karnataka history. Now let us conclude and come to a conclusion as to what we have studied in this lesson. Thus, the Europeans have been successful in introducing a novel way of understanding and constructing history to the Indians. In this way, they have provided Indians a new process of thinking and a new perspective to construct history. Children, now you have to know some new words from this lesson and which you have to learn the meanings of them. The first one, that is Zuid. In 1534, Ignatius Loyola established the Society of Jesus in Paris. This is a male religious congregation of the Catholic Church. The members of the Society of Jesus are known as Zuids. Next, missionary. The religious preachers who are sent to a foreign country to spread Christian religion are called as missionary. Indology. It is the branch of knowledge or science which studies the culture and history of India. And the last one, that is Orientalists, the European scholars who are interested in the history, culture, and spirituality of the Eastern countries. Children, can you see some abbreviations here? These abbreviations are being used in the social science textbooks. C means Common Era. BCE means Before Common Era. CE and BCE are used in the place of AD and BC. AD means after the death of Christ and BC means before the death of Christ.